What's up, everybody? It's Make It Make Sense. This one's going to be a little bit different because we are going to go through exactly what happened with Irv Gotti, but it's a whole bunch of other mess that we got to talk about. So like the video as the intro plays. We got a lot to get into.
I'm so tired, child. I'm so tired. I'm really tired.
Make it make sense to me intellectually.
Make it make sense. You know what was up.
Isn't it fun?
Big moves. Surfer. Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you say. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things of your dreams. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you say. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things of your dreams. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense.
What I'm doing?
Ariana, you look a hot mess.
A hot mess. I've been trying to tell
you. That wig looks synthetic. The bag.
ugly.
You better talk to her before I do, because I'm hurt her feelings.
Now take that off. You ain't going nowhere
Ain't
with
going
that
nowhere
wig
looking like
on.
that.
Take that wig off, man.
You're not going.
She really thinks she's doing something. You need to stay here if you're going out looking like that.
On the bottom. Nothing. They're just tight. You're supposed to wear them straight. If she has her...
She made her bob now. She made.
It's tight. Anyway, so you guys have already heard that Irv Gotti has his own new lawsuit. Well, you guys know that 50 Cent is not one to waste any time. 50 Cent claims he is working on the Murder Inc. docuseries following Irv Gotti's R-word accusations. Now, I don't know if he's trolling. These accusations just came out, but you never know with 50 at this point. 50 got a lot of time on his hands and money to burn. So it could be anything. He was just at Tyler Perry Studios. Usually, I would hold off on showing you guys the actual Irv complaint, but this complaint is very different than anything that we have seen before. I've already reached out to an attorney who said they would love to try this case, and I'll let you guys see why. The entire complaint is only 4 pages. Now, on this channel, we have seen complaints that are 70 pages. Typically, they're about 20 to 30. This complaint is 4 pages. So, right away, I was like, something's a little different. It's a Jane Doe. She says, plaintiff Jane Doe, by and through her underscored counsel, hereby states her complaint against defendant Irving Domingo Lorenzo. If you don't know who Irv Gotti is, some say he looks a little bit like Uncle Finster. He looks like a little bit Fat Joe, maybe DJ Envy, whatever you want to call him. Technically, he's kind of indistinguishable, but you guys get the point. That's him. This is who we're talking about. And we don't know who the woman is, but this is a very recent situation. It says, statement of facts. Plaintiff met Irv Gotti through a mutual friend at a poker tournament in the summer of 2020. Gotti invited plaintiff to go on vacation with him in St. Martin, to which she agreed. After flying her to St. Martin, Gotti coerced plaintiff into having sex with him. It's like the first 3 sentences. Not Irv the perv. So YouTube is playing with me a little bit. Not monetizing recent videos. So definitely hit that like button. It's a free way to support the channel. I've been on YouTube long enough to know now that these kind of things happen. So we just have to let YouTube know that we are here and we're having a good time. So definitely hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Let's see. After flying her to St. Martin, Gotti coerced plaintiff into having sex. Gotti specifically threatened plaintiff that he would send her home if she did not comply with his demands. Accordingly, and due to his power and influence in the music world, she complied. So I talked to the attorney about this and I said, what do we feel about the term coerced? Because it's kind of open-ended. Typically, they go into kind of like detail. This person was pretty much straight to the point, Jane Doe. And I said, well, the threat. It said Gotti threatened plaintiff that he would send her home if she did not comply. So that's when the attorney said, I would love to take this case. Threatening to send somebody home is one of those things that she said would be an attorney's dream. What do you mean by that? Were there like physical threats, or did he just say, if you don't do what I want, I'm going to send you home? So there was going to be a flight. Allergic to the BS? I don't know. Like I said, this one is very different. So Jane Doe goes on to say, oh, and then it was due to his power and influence in the music world, she complied. We don't know who Jane Doe is. So we don't know if Irv Gotti could potentially hinder her career. I don't technically know how much more power or influence he really has outside of Ashanti and Ja Rule circa 2004. I did not know that, you know, Irv was still making moves like that. She goes on to say, following the trip to St. Martin, Gotti and plaintiff entered into a relationship where, for 2 years, plaintiff suffered constant abuse at Gotti's hands. During this abusive relationship, Gotti demanded that plaintiff perform unwanted sexual acts, often, and berated and scolded her. Again, not quite sure. That, I mean, for a 2-year period, she's not saying, you know, there were a certain number of occurrences. It's very vague. Notably, in January 2022, Gotti flew plaintiff out to Miami, and the two stayed at the Four Seasons Hotel. There, Gotti forced her to perform oral on him in an elevator. Later in the summer of that same year, he flew her out to Atlanta, and he again forced her to perform oral on him in an Uber. Following this event, the relationship ended. As a result of this sexually abusive relationship, plaintiff has suffered severe emotional, and psychological harm from which she had to be committed to a psychiatric ward. These injuries continue and affect plaintiff to this day. Moreover, plaintiff has been made aware that Gotti is slandering her to his vast social network in and around Los Angeles. So then I went to his social media, which would be a form of his social network. I didn't really see anywhere where he talked about anything other than the projects that he worked on. I went to his Twitter, same thing. Nothing really, you know, to write home about. Mostly it was about sports and, you know, his past career. So let's see. So I kind of would like her to name names, like who are in his social network and who did you hear that he slandered your name to? And is this victim in the industry of some, like, let's see. As a result, and in addition to the severe emotional distress described above, plaintiff now fears leaving her home. Plaintiff has suffered severe emotional and psychological harm for which she had to be committed to a psychiatric ward. So that always comes with notes from the doctors. But as a result of the egregious sexual conduct perpetrated by defendant against plaintiff, plaintiff has experienced and will continue to experience severe emotional anguish, pain, and suffering, and loss of dignity damages. Plaintiff accordingly demands attorney fees and costs and compensatory damages in an amount to be determined at trial. As a direct and proximate result of the defendant's intentional acts, plaintiff suffered temporary and permanent injuries, has endured significant pain and suffering of both mind and body, and will continue to endure such pain and suffering in the future, has incurred medical expenses in an undetermined amount and will continue to incur medical expenses in the future, has suffered damages for the loss of enjoyment of life and loss in the ability to perform usual activities, resulting in a diminished quality of life. That's it. That's the entire lawsuit. Hibiscus, I don't know. I read the whole thing to the attorney, and like I said, the attorney said they would love to. I mean, they're not saying they want to. They're saying this would be like a dream case for Irv. And I was surprised. I was definitely surprised. So I don't know. We'll follow this case. I have a few updates to do, like the Jamie Foxx case. There's a few that I have to update you guys on. But I wanted to get into the mess because there was a story I wanted to run the other day and get you guys' opinion on from Miss Jackson. But let's start with Irv and his unrequited love for Ashanti. And then we'll move on to Miss Jackson, because I have a feeling you'll think differently about what Irv had to say than what Miss Jackson had to say. If you guys remember, it says, beside it exec, Irv Gotti says, God wanted me to find out Ashanti was dating Nelly. Record executive and producer Irv Gotti revealed that he was in love with singer Ashanti during an upcoming episode of the Drink Champ podcast. The Murder Inc. Records co-founder, whose real name is Irving Lorenzo Jr., addressed his alleged relationship with the Rock With You All Baby singer, who was his label prime female artist in the aughts before he unceremoniously released her in 2009 over their views and philosophies not meeting up. Got rid of your meal ticket. Let's see. In the clip, Gotti 52 talked about his feelings for the What's Love and Always On Time singer when he started dating Hot in Here rapper Nelly. Gotti said he learned the two were an item when he was at home watching TV, specifically an NBA package game. He said it was if God wanted me to find out. Now, mind you, at the time that Irv and Ashanti had a thing, he had a whole wife and he had a Superhead. Superhead makes an appearance, guys, multiple times in this. Superhead is going to make an appearance multiple times in this. So Ashanti wasn't your only one. So the fact that you're trying to say God was the reason. Okay, Irv. Let's see.
Yeah, I said that. Yes.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Nori, you've been around me a little bit, not like that.
Right, I know.
Have you ever heard me talk about this girl?
No, absolutely. Obviously not. Oh.
I don't, like, she's done.
All right.
She's fucking with me.
Yes.
No one's sitting around thinking,
mm-hmm.
And y'all be like, oh, but she still looks great. You ain't one of when you seen that last picture.
It sounds just like us.
Which I say, like, I'm not the fuck are you talking about Ashanti. So when you say that,
no, I said it
because you're my man and you're like you got feelings. Remember when he said that?
Yeah, I did.
I mean, he was fucking with you.
Yeah.
Listen.
Yeah, I didn't know it was going to do that.
Watch this.
Yeah.
Nobody knows how the public's going to read it.
But
I could honestly say it just now start dying
down. Right.
These motherfuckers, I'm like, yo, y'all.
Well, it's about to come back. It's about to be up again.
DM, hold on. DMs, comments. Oh, you still love her. Wait. They'll post a picture of Ashanti and Nelly, and all of the comments will be like, Earth's punching the air.
We didn't even. No.
Like, what is
take a shot to punch you in the air.
What is these people doing? But I said I was mad at Norris.
Yes, he was. He was not
because he helped validate and fuel it.
Okay,
let it go. At the time, you had a lot of money. At the time, you were messing with Ashanti. At the time, you were messing with Superhead. At the time, I'm pretty sure you had multiple other women. When a man like this finally does come into some money, they're going to exploit the hell out of it while they can. I'll be interested to see exactly what goes on with Jane Doe, if she has to do an amended complaint and give more detail. But as it stands, I don't really put anything past Irv. Irv had, I believe, Superhead said that Irv had his wife and Superhead at the same hotel. And Ja Rule had his wife at the same hotel. And they would all travel. And they would just go to Superhead's room. Let it go. Let it go. A whole wife. But let's move on to Miss Jackson, because this is a twisted, tangled web. We all know exactly who Miss Jackson is. Shout out to Gossip of the City. She was the one who got this. Somebody was saying you seem sad.
I left because I wanted initially, I guess, space to see maybe will the space bring us back together, or do I need this space because I just need to rip off that Band-Aid? So, and initially I wanted the space or the break to rip that Band-Aid off. So,
how do we feel about adults in giant kid bows? Now, don't get it twisted. Miss Jackson is bad. Miss Jackson was pretty back in the day, and she's still pretty today. I don't know. And I don't. People feel like Miss Jackson deserves to be able to tell her story, and they feel like Nelly wasted her time. There was accusations that Nelly had a baby with another woman while Miss Jackson was around, and that she is a woman who feels like she was a placeholder, and she deserves to be able to tell her story.
So, but no, like no ill will, nothing bad. Just sometimes people don't work out. People grow apart. Like sometimes one person might want to be still in the situation and the other person is
got you.
Like, this isn't working. It happens, you know? Right. It just didn't work out. I left because
I'm pretty sure she gets this all the time. So we have to think a little bit past just what we see. Literally, this lady gets this question, I'm sure, about them. The fact that she's deciding to speak on it now, I wouldn't be surprised if it has something to do with this. Exclusive, Ashanti and Nelly filming their own reality show. The Jasmine brand exclusively reports one of our favorite couples are taking their talents to reality TV. Sources tell us exclusively that newly engaged singer Ashanti and her rapper fiance Nelly have landed their own reality show. Sources tell us that pre-production will begin soon and they'll be filming in Nelly's hometown, St. Louis. Ashanti confirmed her pregnancy earlier this year. This will be Ashanti's first child. While Nelly shares daughter Chanel 30 and son Carnell Haynes 25 with exes Shanette Valentine, the pair dated for 10 years until they split back in 2013. They later got back together in April 2023. No further details about their show has been released. So back to Miss Jackson. Miss Jackson has been in and around the media for years now. She knows that anything she says will be about Nelly and Ashanti will be picked up because they're being covered constantly by the blogs. We all know right now Ashanti is as pregnant as you can get. You will never be more pregnant than Ashanti is right now. I feel like Ashanti's baby has cooked for about 3 years. I was super happy for her because I knew it was her first baby when she got pregnant, but I feel like that was 10 years ago. This baby is studying for the SATs in utero. Ashanti been pregnant forever. Bianca said they're not our favorite couple. No, I mean, I don't know exactly how old Ashanti is, but she is a woman of a certain age, and it kind of feels like Ashanti has gotten her happy ending. And the majority of people like myself are really happy for her. There was a little bit of questioning going on when she got back with Nelly, but at the end of the day, it's your first baby. She's happy. She's celebrating it like every new mom would. It just begs the question, why is Miss Jackson talking to random people on the internet about this, knowing that it's going to get picked up? It's not that she said anything wrong. It's when you know how media works. She knows anything that she gives in a public platform is going to be picked up. And right now, it's kind of like Ashanti's moment. She wasn't saying this at the beginning of the relationship, but Ashanti's about to give birth. And now people feel like, I guess like Bitter Betty. I think everybody has the right to tell their story, but now kind of like the way I know the inner workings of media, this wasn't just her doing a story time. This got picked up by blogs, got national attention because she's talking about Nelly and Ashanti now at the time that Ashanti is close to giving birth. But anyway, to be honest, it's not like Nelly is a prize. He did her wrong. She was just a placeholder. He did Ashanti wrong back when they were together. No, I didn't. That was not Ashanti's body. I got this photo. Let me tell you where I got the photo from. Let's see. Because we're about to start getting real messy in a minute. The photo wasn't the messy part. This was at her baby shower. This was at Ashanti's baby shower. And let's see who posted it. This was not a fake photo, guys. Oh, okay. Somebody said, yeah, this was at her baby shower. This was it. It wasn't edited. She just, I'm okay when a woman decides to eat what she wants while she's pregnant. It's always so crazy to me when I see all these people who want to be bone thin as soon as the baby's born. Like, you just had your baby and you want to be like, who's the one who robbed the cradle with that little boy who also had a girl pregnant? She was on Basketball Wives. She said your wholeness can get deleted. And then she got with a teenager. Drea. Oh, Drea. Yeah, you know, Drea's out there 2 days after the baby showing her abs. Like, eat what you want, Ashanti. Live your best life. It's your first baby. You got your man. Who cares? I miss the days where you hear women talking about I'm having cravings. Everybody now wants to go vegan and eat rice cakes and stuff while they're pregnant. You better live it up during pregnancy. That's when everybody's supposed to be serving you. You eating sprinkles and ice cream and pickles and whatever the hell else you want. Don't be trying to be a stick figure. Don't be like the Queen of England, or not the Queen. That's the mistress. The Princess of England, Kate. Kate has the baby, and within an hour, they staple her up, and she's propping herself up in front of the masses to wave outside. You don't need to do that. Live your best life. Live your best life, lady. Caden says, hey, ma'ams, Irv Gotti gives off creepy vibes. I'm with you. Uncle Fester's what comes to mind. Negla says, Ashanti's pregnant as Karen on Sisters. 4 years. Ashanti, it feels like Ashanti's been pregnant for a while. Negla also says, is Miss Jackson the woman from the video? Exactly. This is just the old photo of her back when she was, dating Floyd. But we're about to get into this Floyd stuff. We are definitely about to get into Floyd. Now, when I think of Miss Jackson, the first thing that comes to mind was Floyd kind of like manipulating her with money. If you remember, before Floyd was walking around with his harem, which included Princess, Ray J's wife, he had Miss Jackson. After Miss Jackson and him split up, all of a sudden you started seeing him everywhere. I remember specifically this photo because Jackson had left and he went and he took back all her bags. And she had like a $65,000 Birkin bag, which I didn't even know what Birkin bags were. Like, I didn't know a bag was going to cost that much money. And she pawned it because she didn't have any money. Like always, for her, she was just an object. He lavished her with gifts while they were together and then used those gifts to tell her what she could and couldn't do and then took them back. But we'll get into that because I got both court cases. It's so messy, guys. That's why I said you're going to need a drink. So Floyd posted this a few years back. And it says, sources close to Jackson admitted she sold her favorite Birkin bag for $31,000 to Beverly Loan Company, a luxury pawn shop in Los Angeles. The boxer's former fiance had friends take the bag with the original receipt to the store, and clerks at the upscale pawn shop recognized Mayweather's name and called him about their recent purchase, where he offered to buy back the purse. Media Takeout reported Mayweather also took back every diamond he showered his former fiance, which totaled $7.8 million worth of jewels. Now, Media Takeout reported this, but it's also in the court documents. Floyd Mayweather and Chantel's engagement breakup has been confirmed by Jackson's laser treatment to remove a tattoo of boxing gloves on her wrist that was dedicated to her undefeated champ. Rumors of the couple's breakup made headlines after rumors speculated that Jackson had enough of Mayweather's cheating and abuse, allegedly. Media Takeout obtained before and after photos of the model with her tattoo covered in bandages at a recent event. Jackson was asked why she didn't sit next to Mayweather at the game, and she tweeted, because he's busy with seat fillers. Jackson later tweeted, funny when a person tries to top you. Mayweather's fiance allegedly dumped the undefeated champ before jumping over the broom. According to Media Takeout, Jackson walked away from the relationship due to infidelity, blah, 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 blah. This is him posting pictures taunting her. Now, I don't know if Floyd Mayweather can spell Birkin. He can buy them, but he can't spell them. I remember thinking, this was way back before I ever even thought about being a blogger or anything like this. I was really thinking, what a sad life that you have $8 million worth of diamonds that could be taken like that. It's contingent upon you following his rules. Then you have Princess and all of these people on a private jet laughing and mocking you, all holding your old Birkin bags while he, you know, shows off his harem. It was some shit, y'all. The only person who I didn't see on Floyd's list was Superhead. But anyway, Superhead will make an appearance a little bit later again. So this was funny. This is Floyd Mayweather talking about the Birkins.
This Birkin bag thing. And I'm gonna tell you, I didn't even know what a Birkin bag was till I was around you. I didn't know what a Hawk bag was. I didn't know a Kelly bag. I didn't know nothing about Hermes. Maybe a belt here and there.
Well, if you go back and
but why is this such a big conversation? Like, why is there a big debate?
Well, my thing is this: if you're not buying stock in a company, stop arguing and debating about something that you don't own stock in. Mm-hmm. So my thing is this.
Look at everybody's face as he's talking.
What we need to do is buy stock in a certain company or a certain brand and then talk about it. And then when they go up, you making money.
What recently
look at the woman's face, y'all. Look at the woman's face. Shout out to this being Fox Soul in his early years. Look at her face. Floyd did not answer the question. Let's do this again.
That's driving me fucking crazy is this Birkin bag thing. And I'm gonna tell you, I didn't even know what a Birkin bag was till I was around you. I didn't know what a Hawk bag was. I didn't know a Kelly bag. I didn't know nothing about Hermes. Maybe a belt here and there.
Well, if you go back and
but why is this such a big conversation? Like, why is there a big debate?
Well, my thing is this: if you're not buying stock in a company, stop arguing and debating about something that you don't own stock in. Mm-hmm. So my thing is this: what we need to do is buy stock in a certain company.
Does he think that by buying a Birkin bag, he is buying stock in Hermes? Is that what he thinks?
Or a certain brand, and then talk about it. And then when they go up, you making money.
What recently, Saweetie, she's a rapper. She recently talked about she was telling ladies, don't have a man that can't get you a Birkin and pay all your bills.
Damn.
Now I know if I'm in a room and I see 6 girls and 5 have a Birkin, they belong to you.
Oh.
They belong to you. What does that even mean? If I see 6 girls in the room and they all have a Birkin, they belong to you. So now you own them women? Is that what, Jason, what? Okay. So let's get into this. And let's get into Superhead real quick. So we're about to get real messy, you guys. If you don't like the mess, this minute ain't gonna be for you. So everything falls back to Superhead. We all know Superhead had Irv Gotti, but Superhead also had Nelly. Superhead released her list. And this was the list of how she felt rappers did in bed and their sizes. I don't really need to read to you all the sizes and all the men because it's a 2-page list. But yeah, Nelly was on that list. So Ashanti was with Irv, Ashanti was with Nelly, Superhead was with Irv, Superhead was with Nelly. It's all a big circle. And Superhead is in the middle of the whole circle. Now, I'm not going to read this list to you. I told you. I told you this one was going to get messy. I told you it was going to get messy. I forewarned you guys. Hit that like button if you're enjoying the mess. Oh, let me see. Hold on. She did say that Nelly was medium. Y'all do with that as you may. Let me see. Y'all see now why I need to get Superhead's newest book? She says she's going to be adding to the original Video Vixen book. Let me see. Let me make sure I got both lists up. I'm not reading the list, Erica. That I will not do. I'm not reading this. Okay. Is this part 2 of the list? Wait, or is that the same one? Let me see. Okay, this is the second part to the list. It always ties back to Superhead. She's a legend. She was before her time. I'm not reading the list out loud. Now, Missy is not on the list. Stop it. I love Missy, to be honest with you. I'm not reading the list. Shay, you can definitely read. I'm not reading the list. Y'all got the list. Superhead was the GOAT. Superhead was the GOAT. Okay, so let's get into this because I told you this got really messy. I didn't even, you know, I wasn't a blogger back then, so I didn't pay this close attention. But we got like allegedly Miss Jackson is a thief, was embezzling millions of dollars. We got Floyd being physical, abusive. It's crazy. Both people countersued each other. Let me show you guys. Okay, Superhead, your work here is done. Okay, it said you're not without me. When Floyd Mayweather held X at gunpoint, threatened to leak nude photos of her. Floyd Mayweather has a troubled relationship with his ex-fiancée Chantel Jackson. The pair met, but blah 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 blah. They didn't part ways on good terms, and Jackson subsequently filed a civil lawsuit against the multiple division world champ just days before his rematch against Marcos Madonna, whatever. Sensational court documents revealed accusations of battery, assault, defamation, and invasion of privacy against Mayweather. I took you out of the hood. I should have left your ass there. You're not without me. I made you who you are. Again, you're just an object. You had $7.8 million in diamonds alone. $2.1 million of that was from one ring. And just like that, excuse me, as soon as you didn't obey his commands or do what he wanted or allow you to be physical with him in the way that he wanted to be physical with you, you're out. And I'm gonna replace you with my harem, including Princess from Ray J, from Love and Hip Hop. So I pulled up the court documents because that's what we do around here, and I did not expect the countersuit. So I want to start with Floyd's because his was crazy. Okay, Jackson and Mayweather had an 8-year romantic relationship. They were engaged and cohabitated for substantial periods from 2008 to 2013. Through their relationship and cohabitation, Jackson gained confidential information regarding Mayweather's financial practices. That information included how and when Mayweather held, spent, and loosely kept track of large sums of cash, his use of credit cards, including the frequency and size of his purchases, his credit card account numbers, and his credit card statement review practices. Now, I'm not trying to be funny here. I know, people who are adults who can't read, it's a real thing. But in the situation with Mayweather, he has enough money that if he really wanted to better himself, and I think he does know how to read now, but the point is that came after 50 Cent made fun of him. I don't know that he would be able to access that stuff. He probably needed Miss Jackson to do that for him because he does have difficulty reading and, as you just saw, comprehension. Jackson used his confidential information to steal from Mayweather. She determined when, where, how, and what amounts she could steal portions of his cash, and learned when, where, and how she could use his credit card number and cash to buy things for herself without Mayweather catching her. How would he know? Jackson acquired, retained, and used Mayweather's credit card information to surreptitiously appropriate his right to use that information as he alone decided, instead using it to purchase for herself items of which she was unaware. Jackson stole and converted Mayweather's cash for a presently undetermined period of years, timing her thefts and gauging their amounts to avoid Mayweather's detection. This is messy, y'all. This is messy. Jackson was not permitted to access Mayweather's cash or credit cards. Rather, through her presence as a long-term cohabitant in his home, she came to know when and where and how she could steal his cash and credit card numbers, and when and where and how she could use his credit card number to buy things for herself without being caught. During that time of Jackson's theft, Jackson spoke with Mayweather frequently, if not daily. At no time did she reveal to him anything remotely resembling the conduct complained of herein. As a result of their relationship, Jackson solicited and gained Mayweather's confidence, and she claimed to act with his interest in mind, including defending him and praising him publicly when he received negative publicity. Jackson made unwarranted interference with Mayweather's dominion over his cash and his credit card. Like, Mayweather, what was she buying? If you randomly buy people $60,000 to $80,000 Birkins on a whim, I think he went into a Gucci store and I think he had spent like $2 million. He has the money, but I don't think he has a good gauge on what things actually cost, because how are you spending $2 million in the Gucci store? Anyway, all persons, Jackson included, have a duty not to steal or convert property and to refrain from intentionally torturous conduct, including stealing cash and making unauthorized use of another person's credit card. Now, I'm not going to lie. If he's tricking off money like that, do I think that he gave her access to his credit cards? Yes. I definitely think when they were together, she had full access to whatever. Smiley says, Mims, love your laugh. Miss Jackson is just being messy. Girl, bye. A lot of people felt that way, but a lot of people also felt like, she's a woman of a certain age who realized she's a placeholder and she has a right to tell her story. Negla Ross says, what is the highest grade he completed? I have no idea. I think they said he made like $1 billion through his fights. But I mean, this is what he wants. Look, I'm a very, what is it? Liberal when it comes to what people do and how they show affection, live, love, laugh. But if you got to be in a public space, grabbing, holding, clutching on for dear life, that seems a little weird. That's what he probably wanted Miss Jackson to do. Oh, this is an older case. I just said it was a messy. We were going through the messy timeline. It's an older case. But I found it when I was researching Miss Jackson to kind of see what people were saying, why she's so sad and stuff like that. And then I found this and I said, well, this is too messy for us not to talk about. So let's get into what Miss Jackson had to say about Floyd. Let's see. Okay. Mr. Mayweather wanted Ms. Jackson to make herself available to him virtually at all times. At his direction, she turned down job offers that came her way and worked very infrequently during her relationship with Mayweather. So, of course, Ms. Jackson was a model. Look at her. He just wanted her on the arm. Why would you go model when he's giving you $7.8 million worth of diamonds? The problem is he's not giving it to you. He could take it back at any time. So all of those items belong to, sorry, let me see. Over time, the plaintiff acquired a large quantity of expensive items. These items were outright gifts from Mayweather. He also bestowed substantial cash gifts upon her and allowed her to use his credit cards to purchase items. As a result, Ms. Jackson acquired a substantial collection of leather goods, clothing, accessories, and jewelry. All of those items belonged unconditionally to Ms. Jackson. At no time did Mayweather ever state that his gifts to the plaintiff were conditional, or that he had some interest in the items she purchased with funds he gave her, or with credit cards. To the contrary, Mayweather seemed to take pride in the I guess, largesse he showed her. In 2010, for example, Mayweather presented the plaintiff with a diamond that weighed approximately 17 carats, said to be worth $2.5 million. He also presented her with diamond earrings with several $100,000. Over time, Ms. Jackson also acquired over 100 valuable handbags. All gifts were unconditional, and the items that Mayweather presented to the plaintiff became her personal property. For an extended period of time, Ms. Jackson placed her trust and confidence in Mr. Mayweather. In 2010, for example, she consented to change her name to Jackson Mayweather at his request. Why would you need to change your name before he marries you? Beginning in approximately April 2012, Ms. Jackson began storing her personal property in a custom basement, which was built into the residence that Mr. Mayweather purchased for her benefit. Mr. Jackson is informed and believes that this property was placed in the name of Chantel Jackson Trust. Ms. Jackson stood by Mayweather through criminal proceeding, which resulted in the imposition of a 3-month jail term upon him for domestic violence against another woman. Now, Ms. Jackson also spoke out in Floyd's defense. And then now she's alleging he's putting his hands on her. Shortly after Mayweather released from jail in August of 2012, he and Ms. Jackson had an argument. During the argument, he twisted the plaintiff's arm, choked her, and forcibly took her phone away from her to look through it. Approximately 1 week later, Mayweather asked Ms. Jackson, now what would he be doing looking through the phone? We know he couldn't understand the text messages. Maybe he was looking to see if she sent pictures to somebody else. Oh, but how would you know that those pictures weren't sent to a woman? Anyway, I digress. Approximately 1 week later, Mayweather asked Ms. Jackson for her forgiveness and promised that he would never assault her again. Ms. Jackson subsequently obtained work in Los Angeles and spent some time there. Mayweather telephoned her to request the security code to her Las Vegas residence. He told her that he wanted to put some things there of his. She provided the security code to him. When she returned to Las Vegas, she discovered that substantially all of her expensive clothing, accessories, and personal items she had stored in her Las Vegas residence had been removed. Mayweather told her that he had removed her property from the residence as a test to see how important these possessions were to her. Now, this is what I remember because this made the blogs back in the day. It was like, is she your dog? Are you taking her treats from her? He took everything of value from her, lorded these other women in front of her, and said he wanted to make sure that she wasn't in love with him for the money. I told you this was messy. This is messy. This is really like you're testing me. Like I'm not a person that can be tested. Don't test me. Mr. Mayweather returned her property. Mr. Mayweather returned her property to Miss Jackson's property to her in October of 2012, and he told her that he loved her and promised to change his behavior. Difficulties continue to exist in the relationship and his reading comprehension. That's not what it says. I take that back. I take that back. Difficulties continue to exist in the relationship between Miss Jackson and Mr. Mayweather. In February 2013, Ms. Jackson told Mr. Mayweather that she would leave him unless he agreed to attend counseling with her regarding their relationship. Mr. Mayweather promised to do so, but did not attend any counseling sessions. During the first week of April 2013, Ms. Jackson decided to end her relationship with Mayweather and to return to Los Angeles for a fresh start. In connection with that move, she took personal possessions that she had been storing in her Las Vegas residence with her to California and placed them into 3 locked storage compartments in Glendale, California. Mr. Mayweather was upset that she had left and that she had taken her personal property with her. He subsequently told her that he had found out which moving company she had used and learned the address of the storage unit. You don't know the address. You do not know the address. After Ms. Jackson... Okay, so soon after she returned to Las Vegas, it became clear that Mayweather had not turned over a new leaf. Within a few days after the plaintiffs returned to Las Vegas, the arguments began anew, and Ms. Jackson told Mayweather that she would leave him. Mayweather grabbed Ms. Jackson, bent her arm, restrained her, and pointed a gun, which happened to be the plaintiff's own licensed weapon, at her foot, asking, "Which toe do you want me to shoot?" With the gun still pointed at Ms. Jackson, Mayweather said that he would not allow her to leave. While forcibly restraining her, he removed her diamond ring from her finger, which he told her he had appraised at $2.5 million, and also took her earrings and other jewelry that she had been wearing. Ms. Jackson was terrified for her safety and humiliated by Mayweather's conduct. The same evening that he took her jewelry, Mr. Mayweather directed one of his agents to remove large amounts of her personal property, consisting of clothes, shoes, purses, credit cards, identification, and cellular telephones from Ms. Jackson, and placed them at a location unknown to her. For a period of time after he removed Ms. Jackson's personal property, Mr. Mayweather kept her virtually a prisoner in his home. He maintained surveillance. She could only leave the house if she was accompanied by one of his employees. The reason I decided to bring this case up was because it sounded to me like a lot like Diddy. It sounded to me like a very similar situation. Everything was surveilled. She could only move when she had a handler that was appointed by her to move with her. As soon as Cassie was done with Diddy, she had to give back everything, including her car. In June of 2013, Mr. Mayweather was out of town, and Ms. Jackson used that opportunity to leave Vegas and move back to California. On July 3rd, 2013, Ms. Jackson went to the storage units in Glendale, where the bulk of her personal property was being stored. When she arrived at her units, she saw that one of them had been broken into and that personal property worth in excess of $1 million had been stolen from it. The unit that was broken into, one of 3 that she rented, contained her bags, clothes, shoes, and paperwork. Mr. Mayweather subsequently confessed to Ms. Jackson that he had arranged for the removal of her personal items from the Glendale storage unit. So you think you're doing the right thing. You're moving it. You're trying to be safe because he's already gotten into your house and taken the stuff back. You put it in a storage unit and he tracks it down and has goons break into it and steal it back. And what's $1 million to Mayweather? And that he removed and he would give them back to her if she came back to him. On July 25th, 2013, Mr. Mayweather told Mr. Jackson that he would put things out about her unless she agreed to return to Las Vegas. After she declined, Mayweather posted the address of her Los Angeles residence on his social media and falsely suggested that he lived there. His fan base, thinking that the address was Mayweather, swarmed the plaintiff's Los Angeles residence and were angry to learn that he did not live there. The attention and inevitable disappointment of Mayweather's fans were overwhelming to Ms. Jackson and caused her to become concerned for her safety. As a result, she left her apartment to live with a female friend for a month. Superhead, maybe? Ms. Jackson, upset over the disruption of her life in Los Angeles, asked Mayweather why he had posted her address on social media. He said it was because she had not listened to him. He threatened to continue to post information about her. On July 27, 2013, Mayweather began posting images of Ms. Jackson's stolen property on his social media. He admitted that he had her items and stated that he would give them back if she would come back. Cut to this photo, y'all. Now, all that time that he's tormenting this woman, he could have been learning to read. But you over here playing games. Let me see. Mr. Mayweather continued to attempt to woo Ms. Jackson back. He told her that he was willing to change his ways and expressed a willingness to go into counseling for the benefit of the relationship. He sent a private jet to pick her up and take her to watch his fight in September 2013 and showered her with expensive gifts, including Hermes handbags. However, when she would not stay with him, he took those expensive gifts back. Okay, at this point, Chantel, if you know that that's his MO, why even accept the Birkin bag from him? If you know he's just going to take it back or he's going to steal it back, what would be your point of doing that? At a certain point, you know what his capacities are. Why would you even accept anything from him? In November 2013, Ms. Jackson became pregnant by Mayweather. Mr. Mayweather was aware that she was pregnant, but she did not share that information with her family, and only one friend knew that she was pregnant. In December of 2013, a sonogram revealed that Ms. Jackson was carrying twins that Mayweather had fathered, and she told him the news. He asked for a copy of the sonogram, which she sent to him. She had no idea that he would turn that image into a device to inflict emotional torture upon her. Mayweather insisted that the plaintiff move to Las Vegas. Ms. Jackson wanted to remain in Los Angeles. When Ms. Jackson refused to move, Mayweather became verbally abusive, stating, "I took you out of the hood. I should have left your ass there. You're not shit without me. I made you who you are." He also called her a bum and a bitch. In January 2014, Ms. Jackson's pregnancy she terminated her pregnancy in 2014. And then she informed him. In March 2014, Mayweather continued to try to get Ms. Jackson to come back to him. He made various threats. He told her he would sell her personal property if she did not come back. Again, at this point, once you then had $7-8 million in jewels, it is what it is. If you're willing to give it up, you're willing to give it up. Like dangling, don't dangle anything in front of me. That's a problem. Spiritual Gangster says, now let's talk, because Floyd did that and worse to Jose because she is no longer here. Oh. Let's look into that because he's guilty. Oh, I did hear about that. Allegedly. Put that up. Allegedly. But I did hear about that. In their numerous discussions, Mayweather kept saying, if you do as I say, you can get your stuff back, and telling her that the two of them needed to get on the same page. He made it clear to her that he wanted for her to come back. April 2014, the plaintiff attended a basketball game in the company of a famous performer professionally known as Nelly. She posted a photo of the two of them on her social media. So she moved on to Nelly pretty quickly. She was with him and she was with Floyd February 2014, where he held her captive at the Ritz-Carlton. April 2014, she's with Nelly. Mayweather was infuriated. He wanted her to take down the photo of her and Nelly. Mayweather threatened Ms. Jackson if she didn't take the image down of her with Nelly that he would post nude photos of her on social media. Mayweather had apparently taken some photos of the plaintiff while she was asleep and undressed. The plaintiff never consented to taking such photographs. Mayweather demanded that she not only remove the photo of her and Nelly, but also change her phone numbers and restrict her use of social media. Ms. Jackson resolved not to go through life being bullied and dominated by Mayweather and refused to take down the photo of her and Nelly, and also refused to reconcile with Mayweather. On May 1st, Mayweather, in retaliation for Ms. Jackson's continued refusal to comply with his demands as set forth above, decided to give her the ultimate humiliation. That day, knowing that his social media following was huge and devoted, Mayweather posted the following on his Facebook and Instagram accounts. The real reason me and Chantel Christine Jackson at Miss Jackson broke up was because she got a termination of a baby. And I'm totally against killing babies. She killed our twin babies. Hashtag Chantel Jackson. Hashtag Floyd Mayweather. Hashtag the money team. To increase the plaintiff's anguish and humiliation, Mayweather also posted a copy of the sonogram of the twins' fetuses that Ms. Jackson had been carrying, as well as a summary medical report regarding the pregnancy. As intended by Mayweather, the media outlet TMZ picked up the postings and republished the sonogram and medical report. Other media outlets then jumped on the bandwagon, resulting in millions seeing the highly public humiliation of the plaintiff. We don't really have to go any further. This was messy. This was disgusting. I had no idea that she went through all that. People always think that the grass is greener on the other side. People always think that if you have money, your life is so much easier. The thing about money is when you have money, you spend more. You still got bills. Maybe it's not the same kind of bills, but you still have bills. And money does not necessarily guarantee happiness. It just guarantees that your bills are going to get paid. And not even in all cases, because some people flex and spend shit that they don't have and their bills aren't paid, but they got the Birkin or they got the nice apartment or the beautiful home, don't have gas in their car. I can't tell, I get Costco gas. I can't tell you how many times I've been seen somebody then put $4 or $5 in their car and they could be in a nice car. They could be in a luxury vehicle. Money doesn't make you necessarily happy, especially if you're getting hit on, abused, treated like just an object, cheated on. A spiritual gangster says, that's why I believe T.I. encouraged Nelly to date her, and it wasn't supposed to go that far to spite Floyd because that beef was deep. Y'all remember when T.I. thought he was going to take on Floyd Mayweather, the undisputed boxing champ, because Floyd had said some stuff about Tiny or flirted with Tiny? That was a messy situation too. What's her name? Burgess. She's a real pretty lady. She's a little bit older. She's like from the Video Vixen era when she was allegedly dating T.I. and trying to come in between Tiny and T.I. And then Tiny was, nice to Floyd. And then Floyd and T.I. were in the same room and they were about to box. Bernice. That was a messy situation. Bernice is real pretty. Not a lot up there, but real pretty. I told you guys this was going to be messy. We started with Irv. Ended with Nelly, but Superhead made her mark. Superhead, that's who we need to interview. I know she doesn't go by Superhead anymore. She doesn't even go by her original name. She has a new name. That's who I need to interview. Maybe when she puts her new book out, I'll help her promote it because I'll be the first to buy it. Guys, we got 2,400 in the chat. Definitely hit that like button. If you're just getting in, YouTube is messing with me again. They do ebbs and flows. Sometimes YouTube won't push your videos out to as many people if you're not making constant videos every day. But now they have started going back and demonetizing videos, recent videos. So definitely hit that like button. Let YouTube know we're here. We're having a good time. Yeah. Because they're trying to make me work for free. YouTube is tripping. StreamYard was tripping. I had a whole Diddy video to go along. This was supposed to be played yesterday.
Hi, I didn't see you there. I was too busy focused on my brand new pair of boots. Yes, bitch, I got new boots. Boots on you hoes. Yes, these boots are from London, darling. These are international boots, baby.
Somebody said, is the list real? Yes, the list is real. This was Corinne Steffen's list. That's the other half of the list. We do have a good time around here. But if you are new to the channel, definitely subscribe. If you're not new to the channel, at least hit the like button. It's a free way to support the channel. We have a good time. Simply B says, Mims, I know Floyd and he can read well. Simply B, we did say that Floyd did learn to read. Thank you for the super chat. Are you saying read as in read or read as in like I can read the book? Either way it goes, I would be interested. DM me, Simply B. We could talk. Because I didn't know any of this stuff had gone down. Caden Patrick, thank you so much for the super sticker. I appreciate you. Let me see. Yeah, if you do know Floyd, definitely DM me so I can give an update. And you can kind of let me know what was going on back then. How much of it was real? Were the complaints about Miss Jackson real? Was the stuff about Floyd real? I like inside information, and I don't mind putting it out. Either way it goes. Thank you guys for being here. Hit the like button on your way out, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.